to continue reading in Chapter 8 of Heritage Studies. We'll begin today on page 137. So if you can turn your pages or your book to page 137, follow along with me as I read. The Carolinas. Charles II had been at war with the other leaders of England. When he finally became king, he gave a gift to those who had been on his side in the war. He gave 8 men a large piece of land in America. The men named the colony Carolina. One group of English colonists settled in the southern part of Carolina. These colonists formed a town that they named after the king. It was called Charlestown. Charlestown was on the coast. It was a fine port, a place where ships come and go. Charlestown became a center of trade in the southern colonies. Do we know what Charlestown is known today? I'll give you a hint. It's on the top of your page. Charleston. Turn the page to page 137, or 138. Page 138. The Southern Carolina colonists began to grow rice. The warm, wet climate in the south was very good for rice plants. Some farms in the south grew very large. These large farms were called plantations. Another group of colonists settled in northern Carolina. They lived much closer to the colony of Virginia. Like the men in Virginia, many of these colonists grew tobacco. After 50 years, the colony of Carolina split into 2 colonies. The northern part was called North Carolina, and the southern part was called South Carolina. Page 139, Eliza Pinckney. Eliza Pinckney lived in South Carolina in the 1700s. Her father was an officer in England's army. He owned 3 plantations. During a war, he had to go to the islands of the West Indies. His wife's poor health made her unable to care for the family. He left Eliza, age 16, in charge of his plantation. Eliza did her job well. She loved to study plants. Her father sent her some new seeds from the islands. They were from a plant called indigo. Indigo. I don't know why I say an L. Indigo. Which was used to make blue dye. Eliza learned how to grow and care for indigo. She began to share indigo seeds with her neighbors. Before long, many other plantations were growing indigo. It became the most successful crop in the South after rice.